Robotic affirmations are such an easy tool that there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't just be getting on with it. Yes, if you're more of a visualizer or if you enjoy feeling into your affirmations, of course, make those your priority. But when you've got spare time, maybe you're doing a mindless task, or as you're falling asleep, you just don't really feel like getting into it, but you want to add to your manifestation, there's not really any reason not to be using robotic affirmations. Of course, when you're busy, be busy, enjoy it. But when you've got that sort of mental freedom, make use of it. Make use of it to do the easiest manifestation tool there is, which is just mindlessly repeating a statement. We're constantly thinking anyway. Your brain is being used anyway. You're just either letting it unconsciously be used on what Derek said last week, or what you're going to have for dinner, or how you're really excited for the new Fable game, but you're pissed off that it's made by the people that make Forza, or some dumb stuff like that. You may as well use that time. Your brain is still being used. Robotic affirmations is just using to direct it without putting much effort in anyway. I'm in a loving, committed relationship. I'm in a loving, committed relationship. I earn £10,000 per month. I earn £10,000 per month. I'm in the dream home. I'm in my dream home. You don't have to, really impact it. You just got to repeat the statement. Because what's this going to do is it's going to help feed that statement to your subconscious mind over and over and over again. I know there is some sort of debate whether or not doing it without feeling makes a difference. But if you're thinking of thought over and over and over again, your brain is going to take it in. I don't care who you are. If you're being consistent with thinking a thought, that thought is going to be absorbed. So not only is the robotic affirmation helping you absorb a new story, even though it's mindless, but at the very least, it's going to stop you thinking the old story, which is going to stop you from recreating what you don't want, which means that the work you are doing, even if it's not as effective, which again, up for debate, is still going to be more effective because there's nothing countering it. So when you've got that spare time and you're just being mindless anyway, why not be mindless in the direction of what you want, as opposed to being mindless in no direction at all, and just getting the same things that you get each day? Robotic affirmations are so easy that there's no reason not to do them. So just get on with it. If you're triggered, deal with the trigger, robotic affirmations. Once you feel a bit better and you like to do more feeling affirmations, great, do them. But at least you've set a good foundation with the robotic affirmations. When you're washing up, you're just staring blankly outside, looking at the grass move in the wind, or maybe a cat's walking along the fence. Great, what's that doing? Nothing. So, robotic affirm. Imagine with the robotic affirmations that you're in your dream home. Claim your dream relationship. Claim your dream physique, for example. There's such an easy tool that there's no basis behind not making use of them when your mind is already not being used anyway. Like I said, if you're busy or if you're invested in something, do so. I do also massively advocate being present in the moment. But if that moment isn't overly beneficial to you, use that time to create a new, more beneficial moment in the future by robotically affirming that it's already here now. They're such an easy tool. Just get on with them. Just do them. You don't have to do them all day, every day, of course. Like I said, be present in the moment. Take times out to do your visualizations and your affirmations that you like to do. But in between that, just make use of them. Robotic affirm something. Have a robotic affirming in a conversation. I imagine there's some way to combine the two, who knows? But just make use of it. Make use of that mindless, repetitive, I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship, or I have my dream job, I have my dream job, I have my dream job. Because like I said, it's still a thought, which means it will still help you create. Even if it's mindless, it's still a thought. I'm not saying that this is the way that it works, so don't take this out of context, but let's just, for argument's sake, say that because it's mindless, it only counts as half of an affirmation. Doing it with feeling counts as a full affirmation. If I half of an affirmation 10,000 times, that's still the equivalent, based on this explanation, of 5,000 affirmations. So you're still aiding towards impressing the subconscious mind, even though it's mindless. But like I said, by using your mind to be affirming mindlessly, you're stopping yourself from thinking the old story. And we know that it's your dominant state that manifests. So if there's no opposing thoughts, because they're not having space to come in, even if mindless robotic affirming was less effective than feeling-based affirming, you would still be going dominant. Because let's even cut it down to a baseline of it's 1/10 of an affirmation. Doing it 10,000 times is still 1,000 affirmations. But if while doing those 10,000 affirmations, you've only allowed 300 negative thoughts to slip in, that's still 1,000 positive affirmations over 300 negative thoughts. That is still a dominant story. So, like I said, use it as a bonus when you're doing a mindless task, when you're falling asleep but you don't feel like just getting into a full visualization, when you're a little bit triggered and you've done some breath work but you don't quite feel like you want to really invest yourself into new thoughts properly, just repeat off a couple of robotic affirmations. I do robotic affirm. I do have success. Typically, I will try to use them as more of a filler, but they are still successful for me. So I just get on with them. So get on with them yourself and see how they're successful for you. Robotic affirmations, great tool, really easy. Don't concern yourself with this whole debate as to whether they are or aren't effective, because like I said, even if they're only 1/10 of an affirmation, that 1/10 is still going to be helping you manifest, and it's also going to be stopping you from thinking the old thoughts, which is going to stop it from negatively impacting your manifestation. So there's twofold reasons why you should make use of robotic affirmations in those spare filler times, and there's not really any reason why you shouldn't make use of robotic affirmations in those filler times. So honestly, even if you're not the biggest fan of them, your brain is already going to be ticking over something, because our brains don't stop they don't stop at all. So why not just make use of it anyway, even just a little bit, to help you just continue to fill that new story in. Like I said though, and I do want to repeat it because it is very important in my opinion, when you are busy, when you're working with your friends, when you're playing a game or watching a show, and you're doing something that you enjoy and is either important to you or brings you happiness, invest yourself in it. I always have a little bit of like a wince when people say, oh yeah, while I was with my friend the other day, I was just robotic affirming the whole time. You're not even like really invested in that situation with your friend. Be present in those moments. But when you're doing something that requires no effort and there isn't anything engaging, do it. Washing up, putting the clothes away, walking to the shop, things like that. There's no reason not to in those moments. But when you are invested in something, please be invested in it. Enjoy your life. Be present with the people that you care about. Be present in the moment when you're doing things that should bring you happiness, because you've got more than enough time during the day to affirm. You've got more than enough time during the day to make that state dominant, because it's the dominant state when the desire comes to mind. It isn't a case of you've been awake 16 hours, so you have to be affirming for 8 of those hours. It's if you've been thinking about your desire for 2 hours, you want to make sure the dominant side of that 2 hours is from the end state. So please don't miss out on spending quality time with friends and family, or playing the games that you enjoy, or really getting into that book because you're scared you won't be manifesting. You have more than enough time during the day to get manifestation work done. And if you're doing what I always advocate, which is lessening the negative stuff you have going on in your mind, that means you can do less positive work and still get a result. So do not skip out on life just to try to affirm for something. There's more than enough time in the day to add it in as a filler. So make use of those times and live the best life that you can. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, drop me a like and a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click that bell icon. Check out my music, which is down below in the description. I will keep advertising it. And if you didn't see my community post, For every 1,000 listeners, up to 10,000 listeners, I will be giving away free coaching worth up to £100 to the amount of people subsequent. So 1,000 listeners, one person, 2,000 listeners, two people, and so on up till 10,000 listeners, which means, yes, there will be 10 people getting free coaching up to £100 from me at that point. So go and listen to it. And if you do need any one-to-one help, you know where to find me. Down below in the description and the comment section are the links to all of my services. But thank you so much for watching.